So, imagine my surprise when I'm just stood in my bathroom, minding and potentially doing my own business. The window fucking pulls open. See, the window in my bathroom doesn't shut, right? It just doesn't seal. The handle doesn't turn, so you can't actually close the thing. Just got hit by a ridiculous amount of wind and rain, I guess. Sucked it open, slammed it shut. I was like, what the fuck? Looked outside, saw my neighbor's fence just snap in half. Like a ghost fucking headbutted it. It was crazy. Nasty business out there right now. Fortunately, the business inside. Not in the house. But in the screen is just a little bit fascinating because we are rapidly encroaching on the full mental realization of the concept of derealization, which is one of the thoughts I have unlocked in my other playthrough and is easily one of my favorite things in any game. Like, I had to text my friend about how much I love this without saying anything about it because they haven't played the game and they will at some point. Trying to explain like how there's a marriage of narrative and mechanics here that I never saw coming, and I love it so much. But we are, like I say, rapidly encroaching on this. Revachol Special Administrative Region, Lakau, the Insular Indian Ocean, Coalition Government, Insular Indian Mission Command. Name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on the fridge. Trouvant, the Apricot Company, Wild Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them. Scratch at the corners, see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts, the one you truly must complete. And we're close. But in the meantime, I'm looking for a lowdown on reality. And I believe a rather comprehensive one comes courtesy of Rejoice. Albeit perhaps a bit of a subjectively, it's got a lean to it, it's got some biases, but literally any reality lowdown we could get will have those biases. It's very much a part of the fact that we have to get it from other people through their wild experiences. Find money for rent and pay cards. That one's good for now. I mean, that was yesterday's. We do need to do that again today, but at least I think we do. But it shouldn't be a problem. Because the aforementioned Rejoice, with whom I am now going to speak, gave me a lot of money, which was very sweet of her. I still don't know, how do I get up here? Stop. One of these days. So let's take stock of where we're at. 10 AM, day 2. It is Tuesday. Kim has been sent off. He is doing the police work. We sent him off with the body, perhaps prematurely. But we're rolling solo for now. Presumably for the rest of the day. I don't know if he's away for a certain number of hours, but I'm pretty sure the game quite clearly communicated that he would not be back until tomorrow, so let's go and speak with Rejoice. Whose full forename I insist on using because she seems to prefer not to. And that sounds really mean. I just think it's lovely to be called Rejoice. I think it's curious that she prefers not to be too. This artwork is so good, like it really pops in this version versus the Switch one. There's just so many details that I wouldn't have even thought to look at on that little screen, you know? Like, look at all these little underwater plants, and there's fish and everything. This game is really gorgeous.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Do you want to know how I got this tattoo photo?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
Damn, I pressed the wrong button then. I should have gone for an earlier number, that's my bad. So you know something about the tattoos?
Better not tie the force day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
Okay, well, let's talk about that lynching then, since you've kind of driven me back there.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
Hmm.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your name and badge number.
Why is this necessary?
I just can't go around telling confidential information to strangers. I've signed a contract.
I always found that approach to a sentence that's communicating this kind of thing, this nature of sentiment, to be strange. The order of just can't instead of can't just never quite sits right with me when I hear it for some reason. The point's perfectly well communicated, so it's absolutely fine. I'm not trying to be prescriptive or strange about things, I am just curious as to why this fits in to a prescriptive linguist's, general idea of what sentence structure's supposed to be. Because I can't just go around telling confidential information, I get. I just can't go around telling it doesn't feel like it's saying quite the same thing. But I don't think it's specifically trying to say the slightly different thing that I feel like it technically does. What the fuck am I talking about? Why is this necessary? Wait, I already asked you this, sorry. The coffee will kick in soon. It's not gonna help, but it'll further upset my stomach, so I've got that going for me. The thing is, I don't have a badge at the moment.
What happened to it, Detective?
Remember when I told you I literally cannot remember even the most basic facts about reality?
How can I forget?
One of those facts is where my badge is.
I was hoping your condition was rhetorical, Detective. A questioning technique.
Then I've got bad news for you, because I have literally zero rhetoric. Come down to my level. I wish it were.
I have sympathy for your highly unusual conundrum, sir. And I believe you. But as it stands, I cannot share any confidential information until I've seen a badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Yeah, but what kind of arrangement would it be?
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort.
Oh my. Thing is, I'm not a very suggestive... Oh, apparently I'm a decently suggestive person. At least in this particular situation. After all, she does have sympathy for my amnesia. And I guess my own suggestiveness has taken a little boost off the weird concept of something worded as a dirty alliance, so... I'm giving it a go.
Easy. Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate my law enforcement credentials?
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones.
I got some bad news for you. I am, not very authoritative. But, technically, I'm not a numbers person. But I think I am technically infinitely more authoritative than rhetorical, so, at least there's maybe that.
Or, you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
How would you know that? Shut up. I'll find my badge if I want to find my badge. Okay, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking then.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
What kind of raw ingredients are we talking about here?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Shit, yeah, baby. It's the party pipeline. Why would you want to shut that down?
Why are you trying to shut down the party pipeline?
I assure you, Officer, these are not the sort of parties you'd want to attend.
She has no idea what kind of parties you've been to.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Ravishol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dockworkers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
Am I going to need bolt cutters for this?
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they may be vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
She does have that kind of classic BBC broadcaster type voice. Hey Bingus. Would you rather I say hey broccoli or hey Bingus? Because, they're both good B words. I can't lie.
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight, upstream where it's clearer.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
It's no coincidence that the lorries are stranded there like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the trade committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
A cold breath rushes in from the bay, making its way down the alleyways and potholed streets. From Martinez to Jamrock, in the traffic you hear the clinking of glass vials, concealed beneath tarpaulin. Or is it just your teeth chattering in the cold?
Fucking misery.
A lot of it. It comes in from large Samaran factories in South Safre, Sigai, and Sinyao. The literage they must get from this terminal alone must be oceanic.
She really leaned in with the worldly pronunciation. It's like, I already know you sail around, it's fine. What proof do you even have that the union is involved?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight. It's true they drove a number of the local businesses to bankruptcy preparing for this venture. I've talked to a few business owners. It was quite the shakedown. But the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men.
So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely. Then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
All this talk about jurisdictions is really cramping my style. I just want to get to the bottom of this.
Well, here's your chance.
Yeah, we'll see. I made up my mind about the smuggling investigation.
Yes?
I'll look into it. I'll probe the drivers. I'll see what it yields.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I suspect the traffic jam won't disperse for a few more days. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
I mean, tempted though I am to go down some of these other conversational rabbit holes, I'm suffering a breakthrough.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
What, you're gonna make me go all the way over to Joyce? That's just unreasonable. +1 XP for every orb clicked. All intellect learning caps raised by 1. Well, we've derealized. It has also led me to the realization that this isn't even the thought that I was thinking about in my own head. And I can't remember what that want to be called now. I kind of want to grab my Switch and look it up. It's like my favorite thing in any game. But we'll get there, hopefully. Though it might require some excessive in-game self-deprecation for my character to begin considering whatever it is that I have in my brain right now. But let's get that reality lowdown, all the way across town to speak to Joyce. Aren't we here?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I got some more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Not doing so well here. +12 from having that thought complete. But my conceptualization is only at 1, so even with that, that's basically a coin flip. This one I have 2 bonuses for, but I have no kind of camaraderie with the police. So maybe I can't get more of a lowdown on reality. Let me put on my best conceptual clothing.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Just hold one moment, please. Want to be as oh, there we go. Okay, I got a fancy shot. Okay, maybe not. Oh, it used to be fancy. Used to really catch the light. Now it smells like someone took a piss in the armpits. This is strange behavior. I wouldn't recommend it. And I can put on my... Wait. These both... Wait, no, I thought my signal blue naval coat would give me some police spirit, but it doesn't seem to. I mean, +1 and... What was the other one I needed? Conceptualizations at a +1 too. I'm gonna give it a go, but I have low hopes. That looks like a safety save. Let's call that muscle memory. I don't think I'm gonna be loading a save even if I fail this check. Cigarette be damned.
Good. What can I help you with? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
What is...
A strange coldness comes over you as you look at the world. The waves sway the sloop slowly. That's all.
Not great.
The doubt is fully formed in your head. The alien feeling persists, yet something's still missing. You have finished mulling over the jamais vu thought, but your conceptualization skills are not nuanced enough to make sense of it.
Oops. This is a bad percentage, but, couldn't get 2 failed rolls in a row. Reality just can't sustain that, that's just cruel. We're due. It's in the numbers.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
I'm trying. I'm trying to make it about reality. I'm gonna try once more. I can just about float this. I prefer to keep my points for the thought cabinet, but I'm gonna give this another go.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Sorry, did I do it? I did do it, okay.
You're back. Good. More lessons in basic reality?
Another one.
My favorite part of the...
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
There we go. They didn't even cost us all that much. What world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
A frisson lifts the hair on the back of your arm. Wind sweeps the surface of the bay.
The wind is sweeping the waters.
The world is a suzerainty of Revachol.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it, in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
What is it?
Elysium.
Elysium. This world does not deserve a term of endearment.
There are those who would call it hell.
Hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like I've got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
Inside sideways? What shape is this world then?
We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
A dark grey corona?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
The pale? And what do you mean corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
A fractured corona doesn't feel like it's going to bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Well, if you say it's disco.
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides.
What is pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality. It is the opposite of reality.
Okay, but what is it? Like a definition?
Okay. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
Wait, and what's an isola?
Isola is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Windy, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
And Insulinde is?
An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
Okay. What's the Pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
Is it here?
No, detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
And there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called Porch Collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
What are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
So we're just on chunks of land being like slowly eaten by just like, it feels like a giant soup of black hole. Which is simultaneously like the coolest and most horrifying thing I've maybe ever heard. If we're surrounded by Pale, how do you get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
Pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
What does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
You're not a civilian passenger?
No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entropanetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
An acidic smile on her lips. It's getting worse every year.
What's entropanetic?
Entropanetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
Did they cross it? The Western Plain?
There are signs of pretermodern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What has entropanetics changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
And if we do not?
Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
How much Pale is there compared to the world?
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Slipping how? To our detriment, or...?
What do you think, Detective?
Yeah, I think it's growing. There's more and more of the Pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists. Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same. It doesn't look like you're doing the same. The suggestion was meant in earnest, Detective. Live life.
Let's return to reality, please.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no, I didn't know this.
Beyond curious. Tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
I think you were right. It's disco.
Mm-hmm.
Her eyes tense. Crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
Your ailing constitution, sweaty forehead, the beads there, and your heavy breathing.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
This investigation's gonna be my masterpiece, though. The one they remember me by, I promise.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi.
Uh-oh.
I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile, you have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
Secret task complete. Talk to Joyce about the Pale without Kim? What would his attendance at this conversation have influenced? Other than him occasionally maybe weighing in. I don't see how it would affect the things that she was telling me. But that's cool. Love to complete a secret task. Feels so secret. That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
I suppose it would behoove me to exhaust all these dialogue options, lest I need to return here at some other time or miss some information that I could use elsewhere and just not be aware of it, so... When in Rome, as I tend to be, what can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
Octopus? Well, I wouldn't want to disturb an octopus.
I am glad you see it that way. To repeal the act would mean repealing the coalition government. The one that leases you the right to police West Revachol.
They don't lease me the right to police. They pay me to very poorly do a job and punch children in the face, I'll have you know.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
Yeah, what's your role in it precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
How are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, you mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
I mean, I at least temporarily took care of Measurehead. So the strike is connected to the lynching.
Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later.
If that's how you feel. How were talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And how long have you been here?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
It's on site.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
What happened then?
The union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
And the scabs at the gate, did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the union refuses to?
Don't let her answer it herself.
Let's call them strike breakers, then. You put them there, right?
If these strike breakers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not yet, at least.
And this Gaumont, what happened?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Huh. Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
And what are the strikers' demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
You're pigeonholing my responses again. I know you do this deliberately. I know you do this self-awarely. But it necessitates pause as I reflect on where this character's even going. Apparently he's going to communism. I thought if anything I'd have a higher fascism number on this file than my other file, because this is the file where I'm running around punching kids in the face. Not that that's necessarily a facet of fascism. You know? But demanding authority and respect via violence kinda lines up with it. Zero Apocalypse Cop? Huh. I can't pretend to know what these things actually directly correlate with. Except Sorry Cop, I presume, lines up pretty neatly with apologizing to people, and Superstar with going, I'm a superstar. But I don't know. These numbers are skewed, though. I was not expecting this for this file. Guess we'll see where it goes. We could lean in. Or lean out. Keep them on their toes. Damn. I mean, I don't want her to dislike me. I don't think she'll dislike me just based on, like, an ideological disagreement. Let's go coward mode. I don't know what to think about that.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
I mean, that doesn't sound practical.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
It's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
And what about Everard? What do you think of him?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
You sound like you're about to take a rapier to him.
Oh, heavens no. We get along just fine. Yet, now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black treacle just dribbling down his double chin.
Jesus, lady. He's not that bad.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
You sure Everard doesn't just have like a party trick where he can make his eyes look in different directions and he's using this to convince you that he's not him when he doesn't want to talk to you? Because that'd be a power move. It's like, oh, hey, Everard. It's like, no, he's left. I have nothing to do with this. I mean, I suppose that's invalidated by them literally doing the same job, but that would be such a wonderful character quirk for somebody to adopt for no real reason.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo.
It would also be a
While in
funny way
office,
for someone
they've
to try and
embezzled
circumvent
God
the
knows
term
how
limit.
much of their workers' dues.
I like the way Snurrup thinks. What about the union itself outside of the Brothers Clare?
The Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
There are many ways to say it. You've given me three. Sorry, what am I attempting to get on your wavelength with here? Organized labor organized labor has been described as a lumbering dinosaur. I'm being told not to talk to you anymore. I prefer... I don't know. I don't know.
Of course, officer.
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
She disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
This forewoman, her name?
This forewoman, her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence, Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the union's files.
So you're telling me Everett Clare is two men, and that this woman is four women? My numbers are too low. I'm not enough people right now. I'm feeling insecure all of a sudden. It's probably some kind of extortion.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Okay, let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
I have talked to Everett Clare, by the way.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally. Time to choose sides.
I thought I already did choose a side regarding this particular character in this conversation seconds ago, but here we go, deeper down the rabbit hole. He's beautiful. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't a huge fan. Somehow, like, the consistency of his voice acting has made him grow on me. But I don't think in universe that tracks. He is not the champion I have chosen. I wish to swear fealty to you and the cause of capital. Oh. I can do business with him. For a socialist, he's reasonable.
Of course.
Let's pad these numbers up.
Must have his practical uses. How else could he have kept his position all these years? Or wait. Actually, he could have kept it with corruption. Fantastic, worm-like corruption that reaches into the bowels of the earth.
She looks at the ground and nods in agreement with herself.
Of course. I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a worm myself. But if you felt like passing some information...
I love how much she leisures in the pronunciation of that word. She's just luxuriating in that rolled R and that accented U.
How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things. Tell her she'll like you for it.
That money you gave me, would that make things weird? If I shared information, I mean.
Weird? Oh no. One of the positive things to come from the revolution is the unhindered exchange of information, you see, even when it comes to trade secrets. Which isn't to suggest our talks constitute corporate espionage. Even if they did, it would be fine. But they don't, since you log the money as a donation, and this is clearly just gossip between friends.
I feel you on that, but did you not just say that you were not willing to share trade secrets and that it would be in violation of a specific law that you actually explicitly named? Using an initialism and then even define the initialism? I must be crossing some wires somewhere. Sorry, ignore me. I'd rather talk about something else anyway, if you don't mind.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
I don't think so, thank you. That's all for now.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
Uh-oh. This is because I keep saying none of the above to political stuff, isn't it?
It's also about that, but it's also more. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin, but something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience.
First, where is this Kingdom of Conscience?
It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times.
How do you bring about these circumstances?
Incrementally. Yawn, you'd get there faster with a little speed. Speaking of, when are you going to get on that, bub?
As soon as I find some.
History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment.
That's just the problem. Too slow. What about all the things that are wrong now?
Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above the needs of the future. You may never live to see the Kingdom of Conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But that's no excuse not to keep working. What sang-froid? What a fucking joke.
Wait, is this Kingdom of Conscience really about doing things, or just preserving the status quo?
Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed?
I haven't really got a clear enough picture of the entire status quo in this particular universe to say either way with such a clear and concise binary answer, but chaos mode, yeah? Go for it.
There you have it. Sometimes holding the line is progress.
I answered the question backwards by accident. I went opposite of chaos mode. Okay, but what's the Kingdom of Conscience actually like?
The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, and even more difficult to describe. Partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The Kingdom of Conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
That seems fine. I still want to live for the present, though. I mean... Fine. Let's go. Let's go.
Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow?
I mean, I've spent the past, 50 minutes in one conversation. I think I can handle it. Let's get there. Eventually.
That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we are all going to be so much happier.
Huh. Do I pursue the dream of a real democracy for Revachol? Dare I even just entertain the thought? Heartache is powerful, but democracy is subtle. Incrementally, you begin to notice a change in the weather. When it snows, the flakes are softer when they stick to your worry-worn forehead. When it rains, the rain is warmer. Democracy is coming to the administrative region. The ideals of DeLorean humanism are reinstating themselves. How can they not? These are the ideals of the Coalition and the Moralist International. Those guys are signal blue. And they're not only good, they're also powerful. What will it be like once their nuanced plans have been realized? -2 half-light for an hour and 25 minutes. That's not very long. I dare say that is a frighteningly low amount of time to mentally internalize the idea of a functioning perfect democracy in a way that I could pursue it consistently and maintain stability mentally with that desire and that picture of the future. However, I've got some points. One day I will resume the Mazovian socioeconomics, but the visual calculus here is just pretty devastating for my character. I mean, currently rocking a 3 with it. Possibly connected to the glasses I'm wearing, I'm not even sure at this point. Do I really want to walk around with one visual calculus trying to do detective work? For how long? How long would it be for? 2 hours, 24 minutes? Let's go for the fast one. I have no idea what the benefits of either of these are going to be. I genuinely struggle to imagine what they'd be. Let's internalize Kingdom of Conscience. See what it's about. Was that put me on the numbers as well? Pull up my stuff. Yep, always the last thing I click. Moralist 4, Ultraliberal 2, Fascist 1, Communist 12. Got a bit of boringness going for us. A bit of apologia. Still not very apocalyptic. Despite my referring to the Pale swallowing, all of the solas as disco. Which I thought was at least slightly apocalyptic take. Though I am sure some of those options with which I was presented were actually more apocalyptic directly. But I saw the word disco and I stopped reading. I just went, yep, that sounds disco to me, baby. Because it did, to be honest with you. She was quite correct about it being the most disco thing. Okay. You need to find a firearm that killed the hanged man. Something tells you it will take some time. You could start by identifying the bullet, which I thought I had done. And I have done. It has been crossed off. I need to locate a working firearm that shoots it. So basically, yeah. All I know is the ammo type. And, you know, an idea of the type of rifle that fires it. But no clues to the location of the particular one that was used at all. And I think it's been communicated to me that it's not going to be in that cache of weapons that we found. They all seemed to have been decommissioned. It's possible that it warrants revisiting that and just making sure, but I really doubt it. Explore the Whirling's secret passages. There are strange doors in the Whirling. No one knows where they lead. Find a way in and see what's hidden there. In the hostel cafeteria's forgotten corners. I have to gain authority in Titus's eyes for the investigation to advance. Huh. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that one. I have no idea where to begin, but as has been previously discussed, I am not very authoritative at all. It was 2, as I recall. I guess we could chase this up. Ask around about the lorries, see what's going on with the drug trafficking, and then maybe we can get some more information out of Rejoice over here. Someone's using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients of drugs into Revachol. Joyce said there are 3 drivers at the intersection. Talk to them. One of them must know something about the drug trade. Sounds like something to get on top of. So I'll have to do that. 11:30. I was almost expecting that conversation to take more time than it did. It was almost real time. I've gone from like 10:30 to 11:30, right? And I've been live for just over an hour, so... I wonder how frequently it pans out like that.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
You seem like a man who knows about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
I need to get high. I'm looking for a dealer.
Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
Alright, let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Why are you still hanging around then?
Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
Oh, hell yeah.
A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and way of speaking. Working on these rhymes clearly leads to muscular atrophy. Make sure you don't get hooked on poetry.
Who do you think would be conducting the drug trade then?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
Okay, well I got some bars for you.
Your best verse? You don't even have a bad verse in here. Just tumbleweed and liquor stains. Wait, no. What are you doing?
She broke me. She fucking broke me.
That's brutal, man. But you know, time will...
No, stop. He's already mortified.
No, Tommy, these are my rhymes, listen. She fucked me till I bled.
That's,
It's not real. It's not my actual thoughts. It's a poem. In fact, no, we can keep going. Wait, I don't want to keep losing morale, though. In fact, I might die. I might die of a bad freestyle. That's a troubling thought. This doesn't even... I will never be the same again. She's always there. Fuck the case. Fuck everything. Total doom.
Yeah. I get it. These are your rhymes. They're from your life. Doesn't matter if they're robust, they're honest. So, thanks, man.
These are your rhymes. Doesn't matter if they rhyme, you know? You tried. I never should have tried to freestyle at this man with such a low conceptualization skill. He liked it, though. It's worth it now. I mean, I'm gonna have to go and, buy magnesium again, but... Have you got any smokes on you?
Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
You really need them smokes. Need them. Got to get some. You sure he's not lying to you? You can't trust a lorry man. Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You'll have to ask around elsewhere.
Guess I'll ask around then.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Rebishal's weird.
Yeah, I'm headed that way anyway. Your lukewarm reaction to my beautiful rapping was very, very, very detrimental to my self-esteem, and honestly, it's threatening my ability to stay alive, so I gotta bounce. Before it gets any worse. Ooh, Ghost Shadow. Sun just kicked in on that thing. Hello. Me again. Yes, I'm dying of embarrassment again. Please just sell me the
A
drugs.
small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't catch that.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Okay, thank you. We can do another one. Just. I mean, we can afford many
A
of them.
small
but,
cabinet on the wall.
Okay, here.
Okay. Magged up to the eyeballs now. Very good for our survivability. If potentially not great for our bloodstream overall in the long term. But maybe it is good. Okay, who am I looking for? You're someone. However, I also do need to be right back. So I will do that. I'll be back in a sec. Yipes. I don't even remember what's in that slideshow. It's like 4 years old. I should probably change my BRB. Genuinely, off the top of my head, I can't remember any of the images in there. I think there's like Orange Cop and Blue Man or something. I don't even know. I don't think I knew at the time, to be honest with you.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
Excuse me, ma'am, I'd like to ask some questions.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Where am I? Who are you?
Like a magician recalling a subject from hypnosis, you've jolted her back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Actually, I was hoping you could tell me that.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
Well, what's wrong with the 50s?
The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber?
When else would you be then?
Back in Mecca, during the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you came along, that is.
So, I take it you were in Mesk when you were young?
Someone was.
Someone? Are these not your memories?
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this.
So I wonder if she's coming from the general philosophical perspective of you are only ever the person you are in that moment, based on, you know, neurological realities and environmental stuff, or if she has acquired other people's memories or is unsure if her memories are her own because of lorrying through the Pale. There's such a strong fiction behind this world, it's incredible.
All of what? The world. The present.
Who was Gabriel Buenguerro, by the way? I apologize for butchering the pronunciation, but it's been like at least a couple minutes since she said it.
This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
She shows you a photograph in the lavish amber frame.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all of his lines.
It's freaking Beatlemania. She sat here looking at a picture of Ringo Starr just losing her damn mind. Troubling. Sorry to interrupt your dreaming, ma'am.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Lowman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden.
Her eyes narrow, and she appears to take your measure.
While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, in Meth, it was a golden age.
I didn't fucking make the revolution. Look, I have other questions for you, please, once.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She settles back against the railing of her motor lorry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos, and knickknacks line the dashboard. What are you hauling?
Diamonds.
Diamonds, really?
Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
I'd feel less stupid right now if you actually were. And hadn't just mocked me. What are you really hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what you're hauling in your own lorry?
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Wait, you get high off driving a lorry?
Oh, it's so much more than a high where I go, Harife. It's low. I go to the bottom.
To the window.
Yeah, it's definitely some kick. Some terrible kick. The Pale, probably. This Pale sounds like it's the shit.
Please give me a mission to go 6 kilometers north and snort the black hole. Like, that sounds great. What if the cargo's contraband?
Then it's contraband, Lawman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs, is all.
What do I need drugs for, Lawman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary. No drugs can compare.
The adversary?
Yes. There is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
The Pale sounds like the drug to me.
That's not really what I was getting at.
Then what were you getting at?
I wanted to ask if you'd be interested in smuggling some drugs?
Why would I want to do that?
For commerce, you know? The lifeblood of the Asolas.
Loma, what in the name of God are you talking about?
Okay, let me put this another way. Are you smuggling drugs through Terminal B?
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
You said you don't know what you're hauling. Could it be drugs?
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiris to Grad, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiris to Grad, Loman?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking you.
It's diamonds, Loman, obviously.
Damn this. Make her answer.
I didn't ask you about diamonds, did I? I don't care about that.
Diamonds are good for you, Loman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras.
Are you making fun of me right now? You better start complying.
I would never make fun of a real Loman, Herifia.
If you had to guess, who do you think is smuggling drugs around here?
Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
It's not particularly damning as evidence. Okay, if you're not involved with the drug trafficking, then why are you still waiting here?
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the futures of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I feel like you could at least shelter from being directly in the rain to some extent. Not that you'd necessarily want to, but it's gotta be inconvenient to have your clothes be that wet. And living out of a lorry, which you can't even drive away at the moment. Before I came, you seemed away.
What do you mean?
You were in a dream, inactive, tuned off.
Yes? What about it?
Should you really be driving a lorry if you get like that?
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I drive routes no one else will.
Yeah, like what?
Lomonosov's Land, Udajnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain.
Western Plain again? Someone was just telling me about that.
A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her teeth as she stares inward.
The Transcatolia Magistral, U41A, Adestradas du Mirador, all the good ones, the deep trenches, where the bluebirds fly.
I'm something of an expert in blacking out, and honestly, you should take better care of yourself.
You're right, Loman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me.
A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby.
I was speaking from a place of experience. I was using my misery as a cautionary tale.
Is that all you woke me up to say?
I mean, said a lot, so... Seems dismissive of you to summarize it as that, like it's minimal. But no, since you're asking, that is not all I woke you up to say. I still don't really understand this whole boyadero thing.
Of course not. To truly understand the boyadero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain.
What's that?
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain.
I'm guessing that doesn't happen.
Of course not. The Boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Maigret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down.
I think I see where this is going.
So the Boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Maigret. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him.
That's not where I thought that was going.
You have to understand. A true Boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a Boyadero.
I think I know what's going on with you.
And what is that?
But is the second answer meant to be me saying out loud, no need to be direct? Because that doesn't seem like a very good thing to say to her face. You're a Pale driver. You transport goods through the Pale.
Oh, meu Deus. The lawman solved the case.
Perfect.
She lights the cigarette. A white cloud of smoke disappears into her mouth.
And here I was, thinking you were an idiot. So, are you? An idiot, I mean?
I blacked out from sheer heartbreak. I lost all memory of the world.
Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Segúreme, Paraíso. You're the opposite of me, then. I remember everything, even the things I never knew.
Things you never knew?
The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot. In the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro's coronation. On the grand stairs of Ryle. The smoke from the Fowling piece when Dolores Day was shot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father, and I never shot her innocent Dolores Day.
Over radiation?
Heroic doses, Hervé. Heroic.
Isn't that dangerous?
Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catalan Magistral? It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now, when you've seen it all go away like that, rolling off like the sea, and then come back to this?
She gestures at the square. The broken horse monument, the clanging of machines in the distance.
What are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become a vapor.
What does it feel like?
Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, gray, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets in the electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
Nostalgia. Cooped up in the cabin, shaking. Terrible nostalgia. For yourself. For humans. It's too much to bear. She loves it.
What does it look like, the Pale?
Like looking into the ocean at night. In the dark.
And
You cannot see it, but you know it's there. And it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined.
on roughly a 2-to-1 ratio, or so I'm informed. How reliably, I cannot say. How do you pass through it?
In the belly of an airship, behind the sail windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it.
Not on this lorry, then.
No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
She points to the machines clumped up like toys. One last thing, you said we can just become vapor?
Yes.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know what any of the reactions would be, and I'm not even properly factoring that in because I just don't know what I'd say in general. I feel I already have what you have in some way.
They say there is a point, one that I have not crossed. In the Pale, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction. It's a point you cannot come back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale. Maybe you've been down the motorway south?
She looks at her cigarette. It's almost out. She's swallowed it hungrily. Then at you. The motorway south?
It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, Sheriff, not pale drivers. Way beyond the established pale that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent and dark, and the process begins, erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from.
What's at the end of it?
No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance, when I was a child. A child growing on the lake.
Ma'am?
Josiane.
A sigh escapes her lips, then silence as she stares within herself.
There is nothing more to do now. She's far away.
I'm just beyond fascinated with the grander fiction underpinning this game world. Like, I love it so much. Again, it's like the seas between continents are like space, but they're also like black holes. Like, it's something about just even them seemingly not knowing if it's just storing all the information or deleting it. I don't know. My imagination is very captured. Imprisoned, even. I can't get this game out of my brain, and I don't think I'm anywhere near finishing it on either of my save files, and this one pretty much is catching up to what I was considering my main one. I think it's probably going to overtake, and this will become my main one, which will be cool, because it will mean that everything I encounter is going to be completely new to me at some point pretty soon. But it's still the case that everything I'm doing and the results of everything that even is the same that I've already interacted with, it's all panning out so differently in this playthrough that it still feels new for the most part, you know? And that's got so many surprises of its own because it's really shedding light on just how well written and expansive this game actually is.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea.
I love that
It
I've
looks
used the
as if
leave
it's
option,
being
but not who is
reassembled
this.
Piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods.
Like, you can see that I interacted with this and then was just like, oh fucking hell, not now. I'm gonna do it again though, because I wanna check my thought cabinet. Motorway south. At the edge of the map, the landmass begins to disintegrate into pure trigonometry. The ocean melts, becoming a tangle of sines and cosines. The mountain range turns into a sharp-angled azimuth. Its green range shadow dithers, like music turning into a waveform, and then vanishes. This is the end, a half-remembered textbook from your childhood. The porch collapsing on the edge of the Isola. A transition from reality to pale. A single vector shoots out like a rocket. It's the motorway south, splintering off from the known pale. To where? Where does it go? It's another really tempting one I'd love to start work on. But, as I've repeatedly had to state, I'm already rocking the visual calculus deficit in general, just through existing. I got the oblivious eyes. That's less of a hit than Mazovian socioeconomics will be to resume now. Either way, it's going to take a skill point to either forget something or open a cabinet slot. Is there anything I'd even like to forget? The price of self-delusion is -1 logic. But all these other things are clearly good. My learning cap for Shivers is cool, and more money from selling Tyre is potentially cool, but that's such a minimal amount compared to the price of basically everything except for medicine, as far as I've encountered it. There's no way I'm forgetting about the armor. That's just not going to happen. Even though I still have no idea what constitutes an enemy in this game. And this scares me, but that's all good. Intellect learning caps raised by 1. That's pretty useful for me, actually, having such a compromised intellect to begin with. But of course, that necessitates the use of the points that I'm attempting to spend on a cabinet slot, so I'm just going to do it. The sooner I get it started, the sooner it fully enters my brain. And I am very curious about this one. I haven't encountered this ever. And I can't imagine what kind of bonuses it's going to give me either. Well, let's pass some of that time, I guess. There was another lorry driver we needed to speak to. Is that going to be the racist guy? I mean, the statue's a big old political law dump, basically. A good one. But one that is time-consuming both in and out of the game. And I do have a slightly more pressing matter to attend. At least just in the immediate present.
Looking for something?
Wait, what was the argument? What argument all about?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races.
Oh, is this from you being racist to Kim? Because fuck you.
Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
You might want to watch your fucking tone with me.
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
Oh, so you're just racist. That makes sense.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books. The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it.
It breaks my heart that this man correctly said proved instead of proven. Where proven would have been incorrect, but where I feel many people would have used it. Because this guy is a buster. But he's out here, you know, not falling foul of my one pointless linguistic hang-up. And you hate to see it.
People who've studied these things say that we are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
If this guy's all the Occidentals have, well, let's just say he's not exactly ripped.
Yeah, I can really tell you're a prime example of superior design.
Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority, they stop competing for resources.
Okay, and?
This concerns you, policeman, so you better be vigilant. The Kips are showing a good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other intruder species out there, breeding like rabbits. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
Wait, that's the only victory I ever go for in Civ games. What's this cultural victory?
It's what the Kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to win. They say so themselves. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring.
Yeah, I'm not down with this. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Don't push your luck, Runt.
My luck? My luck? I have fucking armor boots, man. Maybe I should put them on. Flex on him right quick. Fuck logic, we're going into the negative with it. This guy's about to catch these hands. I don't even need to interface for it. In fact, give me half light.
Looking for something, Runt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
We'll see. There's a non-zero chance of it for sure. What are you hauling?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
How long's this been going on?
The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last week or so.
So it sounds like all year, pretty much. What kind of cargo are you supposed to pick up?
Apples?
Apples?
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions?
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
I don't know about bested. Pipe down, rhetoric. No one wants to hear from you. You're rocking a 0 at all times. It's embarrassing for you, bro. You're a lorry man, right? What's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
Why not?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
Hold on, but they make Al Ghul, the alcohol, in Ilmara too. I was told they do.
Oh, I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or sometimes, I like a dram of that Yugograd vodka. Koikos and worse much, but they do no booze.
Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep this poison off the streets of Revachol, right?
He eyes you warily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then,
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
That did not sound like the response of a man who actually does not know shit about the topic that has just been brought up. This man just managed to fail a polygraph test without even being hooked up to the machine. Embarrassing. What are you still hanging around here for?
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking on at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
What a delightful turn of phrase.
there was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
I mean, for you to view the debate you were having with this person, this genetics debate, as good, I gotta imagine he was at least somewhat agreeing with you, though you did use the term debate. I don't want to reach too much. Bad for him, I guess.
It's a fucking travesty is what it is.
I don't think it was that bad for him. I think he's just probably a piece of shit. If it's not you, then who is running drugs through Terminal B? I don't think I even need to ask this. Like, he's gonna say the guy who tried to sell me sunglasses, isn't he?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealand.
Yeah, there you go.
That beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
I like that I was able to predict who he was going to accuse, because, like, I haven't actually done this on my other file. This is one of those things I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to go and learn about, like, freaky black hole zone. Wait, the street vendor south of here, that guy's a lorry driver?
Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right? 100%.
Yeah, we'll see.
Guess so.
He grins, contented with himself, thereby casting serious doubt on his accusation. Once again, this man is failing a polygraph test without even being hooked up to the machine. And you'll love to see it. However, it's not led me to any conclusions. Merely reaffirmed that that guy is a piece of shit. But maybe this will shed some light on the situation. A conversation with
Everything's
Silang.
still cool here, officer.
Yeah, I'm, as ever, fundamentally arhetorical. I'd go so far as to say unrhetorical in this particular instance. Though it has not descended into the negative like I think my logic has now yet. Yep, -1. Love to see it. Okay, so Silang, what's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
I'm super into drugs.
That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale. Or at my home, or on my person.
Sir, it appears to be true. No drugs in sight. Not in the box of sunglasses or under the speakers.
We're looking for a lorry driver who's transporting drugs out of the harbour. They're in this traffic jam.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
Oh, but you are a lorry driver. You've been identified.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him.
Yeah.
He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you grabbed her can. Why am I keep Simpsons quotes today?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. I'm...
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
So you forgot to tell me?
Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operation at the harbour?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
What crowd?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
There's more here. He's afraid of this crowd, whoever they are, more than he is of the racist lorry man.
Who you afraid of, Silang?
Look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up.
We're buddies, Silang. Help us out. No one will know it's you.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
All I can hear in my head right now is Holy Diver by Dio, but with Lady Driver. I never had a hope. I never had a chance. There was no evading that happening to my thought patterns. It's too deeply ingrained.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
Is the lady driver you talk about the old woman back there? Dazed out, strange?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
Could she be associated with the Hardy Boys?
I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know anything about that.
Who are the other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Okay, we're cool now.
All right. Very cool. Let's cap this off with a purchase. A pair of funky sunglasses, detective? You deserve it. And I deserve it too. Don't you think?
I don't really need money. I'm tempted to just try this white check, since it's gone up to 17. But if failure carries a penalty to morale, it's absolutely not worth it. I was going to say, but my rhetoric can't get lower. It can do. I mean, I'm more rhetorical than logical for sure, but I would have to put a point into it specifically to re-unlock it, I think, unless there was some other dialogue thing that I don't yet have access to that would reopen it. Which seems to happen when you have like a conversational choice that improves or damages your chances of making a white check. But I can't confirm that. I'll leave you to it for now.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
I'm wearing them, aren't I? Oh yeah. Yeah, I am.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. Keep saving that economy.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I can retry any of these checks. Which is a shame. Do I have anything pawnable? Pawn-worthy? I don't think I do. Oh, a new thing just dropped though. This postcard depicts an ill-advised residential area overlooking the Jamrock Quarter. 13-story buildings line the hillside like sarcophagi, an ominous fog already rising from behind. These are the last boom years. In 39, the project fails catastrophically, leaving behind an opiate and hepatitis B-infested slum. A bee-infested slum?
Oh my God!
Sounds like hell. I sent Kim back without his pen. Shit. No wonder it comes with a side order of resentment. He's gonna think I'm a fool at work. He already thinks I'm a fool at work, let's be honest. I still need to find the cassette. I gotta do karaoke. It's very important to my identity. But I have no idea where to begin. Suppose I could compensate for my extreme lack of visual calculus with some glasses that balance out the hit I've taken from the thought that I'm currently kind of kicking around about the motorway. Where else do we go here? Maybe we just try and use clothes to bring us back up to decent stats for the blue and purple stuff. Oh, that's my patrol cloak. Then again, do I really need esprit de corps or whatever if I'm not even traveling with a fellow officer? I'm sure it has uses, but... My electrochemistry gloves back on. What am I doing shoe-wise? Of course! How could I forget?
Oh! Wait, what?
I can't believe...
New boot goofing. Oh!
They're not even new anymore, but I can't believe I forgot that I was wearing these magnificent, like, techno armor boots. Find out who's the lady driver and where's her lorry. An odd way to structure that. Let's go. I presume this guy's not going to have anything particularly interesting to say about the lorry drivers, though they are jammed up around his pawn shop. He is indoors all the time. At least as far as I can tell.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Well, none of these have reopened, but I could at least ask about my missing gun again.
Sure thing.
So I sold you my gun.
You You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
Alright, thanks for the review.
Sure, man.
I'm off. Not a useful conversation. A waste of 2 loading screens. I may never recover from this mentally, emotionally, possibly even physically. Time is poison. That's why black holes are so cool. Because it don't work in there. Who's this? Good book?
Yes? Hello?
Who are you?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much.
It's not really my problem, unfortunately. What are you doing?
Looking for something to read.
Mm-hmm. Are you at all troubled by the fact that all of this literature is just getting absolutely destroyed by this rainfall and snow that we keep having every day? Like, there must be a better copy of that inside. Phenomenal.
It is.
I'm a policeman.
I know you are.
Do you need the help of a policeman?
What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing. Help her by carrying things? Maybe she needs a weightlifter. Maybe she needs you to fight her husband. No, that's not it.
Maybe your husband is missing?
My husband? No, he's not.
Alright, then where is he?
I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
So, what I'm hearing is, you don't really know where your husband is.
Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time.
Wouldn't you like to?
No.
She looks you straight into the eye. Her right foot is tapping nervously. I can totally help you find your missing husband.
Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband.
Kids are always going missing. Weak, pathetic kids. Always getting themselves killed.
What about your children? Maybe your children are missing?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so where are they?
Are you a policeman or a nanny?
Nanny, where are they?
They are not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
So they're at home, right? Smoking cigarettes.
What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Jamrock. They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm afraid the danger is now greater than ever. Tell me, how old are they?
My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month. But we shouldn't even be talking about them.
I choose to not continue talking about them. I don't... can you describe me their appearance? Any features that stand out? Something to make identifying a little easier?
Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing? That they're in Jamrock, safe and well, at some stupid party?
Party?
Did someone say party? You could use a party. Hunt it down.
I could do with a party. A killer party, not a lame-o one.
A killer party? What is it with you and Pulp Staples? My god. Please, no more talk about my daughters. They are fine.
Alright, well, if we're not going to talk about your daughters, can I at least inquire as to the whereabouts of your cockatoo? Is it perhaps missing?
I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird.
Oh. Actually, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Thanks for the tip.
Wonderful. The story's open.
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking. An array of neurons fire up with joy. Bum her a cigarette, lest it turn to pain.
So, you smoke?
No, I don't.
I know for a fact that you smoke.
Why do you think that I smoke?
I suspect I may possess supernatural abilities.
No, you don't.
Wow, okay. Please just give me a cigarette.
I already told you I don't have any. Go bother someone else.
She's lying. She's goddamn lying. She has smokes.
Just give me your cigarettes, okay? Don't lie to me.
Sorry, officer.
Do you know where I could buy some myself?
From the kiosk? There's one near the harbor. It's Frita. You can look it up.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
She sighs.
Oh dear. That's all for the moment. I'll let you read that waterlogged book.
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
Well, that wasn't a very successful conversation. But we got a task out of it. Find your heraldic bird, okay? The working class woman said that you're a bit of a cockatoo. What if it's true? Go read up on cockatoos in the bookstore, and maybe you'll discover something new about yourself as well. What? Why? I mean, okay. As long as it's cheap.
Hello again, sir.
Shouldn't you be at school or something?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
Isn't going to school more important than this?
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
How's the business going?
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
It's good to hear that it's going well. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. Who is that?
Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed.
She's your aunt?
No, sir. She's a working woman who comes to look at the books a lot.
Why is she distressed?
I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
Oh. Okay. I'll see you around in it. Troubling observation from a little girl.
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
Doesn't seem like it's opened any new dialogue, at least at the surface level, so... Oh, hey up. My mind was briefly occupied by something.
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right?
Case solved.
Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Wait, what did I crack exactly?
What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is.
It's her husband. The missing husband.
Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit.
I feel like this doesn't add up, and I'm only making a fool of myself.
Do marriages make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy philosopher. You're an officer of law. It's time to ace this case and not brood over your reputation. We can deal with the perception management later.
What if I was some kind of new philosopher?
My God, what have I done?
Give me champagne, I'm going in.
There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the working class woman what you found, right now.
I just saw a drunk dude like 4 meters away from where she stood. She can probably see both of us out of her periphery right now. Authorities. A strange individual. Wow, spoilers. Is this where she fakes her own death? Don't read the thing out loud. At least buy it first. Protect and serve, madam. I found your husband.
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing.
Well, I found him nevertheless. I'm that good.
Very well then. Where is he?
She's getting impatient, her hand's now picking on a random book cover. This is really strange. I must have just not even seen this woman previously. I don't... There he is!
Excuse me?
I found a
I don't follow.
No, but I found a working class drunk and I thought he might be yours.
Right, 'cause working class women come with alcoholic husbands. You know what?
I'm not saying what.
You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband. Although not that one.
Ha! Blam! Knew it.
But you told me your husband's alright.
I did, and he is. He's also an alcoholic.
So is he missing as well?
No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. He's probably in the park, or in Shamrock somewhere, drinking with his friends. I haven't seen him for... Well, to hell with him!
She's completely forgotten about her books, staring blank into the distance instead. Don't worry. I'm gonna find him and bring him back home, I promise.
She sighs, but you can detect a slight hint of gratitude and relief from her face.
All right, go ahead. Do you have any questions?
What does your husband look like?
Honestly, not that different from you.
Kingdom of Conscience is dropping though. Second we get out of this conversation. So let me guess, he's... disco?
Oh, thank God, no. It hasn't come down to this yet.
Why did you say that your husband resembles me then?
Well, he's slightly chubby.
Wow.
Wait, did she just imply that you're fat? You're not fat. The body type she's referring to is called a Franco-Nigerian hard body.
Look, I am not chubby, and neither is your husband. What you meant to say is that we both share a Franco-Nigerian hard body.
You both share what?
Franco-Nigerian hard body. Softly round, yet still in shape. Ladies dig it.
I'm not sure about the rest, but softly round sounds about right. He's not in great shape. What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. The lining is hand-sewn. I made it myself.
She sighs, her voice slightly quivering when she adds,
It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in this, but he refuses to change.
I must have it.
I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it?
I can. He sounds more like me, my character at least, than my character seems to want to believe. I mean, if it's really that cool, I can understand taking it out of a bin.
Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps him keep warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch cold.
And when did you last see him?
Yesterday morning, he went to the library. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised he'd walk straight back home. Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. Just makes me feel weak.
She turns away from you in an attempt to recover.
Okay, I think I got it, thank you.
So you are going to look for him?
Yeah, I'll bring him back home to you.
Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure he will return home by himself. I'm still sure of that.
I'm sure we will too, but I'm gonna keep an eye out, okay? But I gotta get going now. I gotta get in my own brain.
Kingdom of Conscience. The Kingdom of Conscience will be exactly as it is now. Moralists don't really have beliefs. Sometimes they stumble on one, like on a child's toy left on the carpet. The toy must be put away immediately, and the child reprimanded. Centrism isn't change, not even incremental change. It is control over yourself and the world. Exercise it. Look up at the sky, at the dark shapes of the coalition airships hanging there. Ask yourself, is there something sinister in moralism? And then answer, no. God is in his heaven. Everything is normal on earth.
God damn. I went all the way in. What do we get from this? Moralist dialogue options heal +1 morale. You know, there's a linguistic bridge there that the crossing of seems particularly appropriate, even if they don't technically line up. Beyond, you know, the most basic etymology. Learning cap for volition raised to 5, learning cap for logic raised to 5. This isn't great. Being able to heal morale with dialogue choices is great. Don't get me wrong. Having to identify those choices as being specifically prescribed moralist choices, I'm not saying that's a difficult thing. In many of these situations, I don't opt to do that, though. I know I kind of have been today in that one situation talking to Joyce. This might be a forgettable one. You know, I almost even regret having spent time committing it to my brain, because it's stuck up there now and I'm going to have to pay to get it out if I want it out. And these learning caps, these are the amount of points I'd need to get any one of these up to these caps. You know, I don't currently have it, I'll tell you that much. Motorway South is the one I'm really curious about, but I've only got 1 point. I'm not going to spend it to forget this, but of all of the thoughts currently lodged in my brain, the Kingdom of Conscience is doing the least for me. I think on both a stats level and like a narrative investment level. On the role-playing level. I mean, let me check. Always the last one. Every time. See, I'm 12 communist and 4 moralist. So I feel like having this thought in my brain, unless I specifically start to shift my character's personality away from whatever I've been doing, which has mostly, I think, been chaos, though these numbers seem to tell a different story, at least superficially. If I kind of shift more in a moralist direction, it's definitely a huge boon to my survivability. But it feels almost out of character. Again, even just looking at the numbers, that doesn't feel in character, so we'll see. God, what a thought, though. God damn. That was a heavy one. So there's no actual conversation to be had with this guy, right? It's hard, you know. It's just so hard sometimes. So melodramatic. Wow! I know you're talking about the book, but damn. He's right there. So the woman's husband's name is Victor, right? For her to be saying Victor would hate it, I gotta presume.
Damn, that felt good. Your heart's pounding nicely. You should tell people to fuck off more often.
That was like a while ago. But alright, fuck yeah, motherfuckers.
That's the spirit.
That healed my health? Damn.
Never forget, the whole world's a wooden house, and you're a goddamn flamethrower.
I mean, I am the founder and head of the Anti-Object Task Force. So there's definitely tracks. Did I check if I had any new dialogue with you after speaking to Seleng?
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
I know you've been giving me the runaround. Where's the lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, first off, you know Seleng didn't do this.
He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another honest lorryman's job. Talk to him. I don't know anything.
He's been expecting this. He's really puffed himself up.
Maybe I should back out and get in my most authoritative garb, though I am in my shiny, shiny boots. I'm not sure that there's much else I can do for myself than that. However, authority is based, rooted in my psyche. And I do have, I don't know what they call it, but polyderon or whatever I always call polyhedron. Why are you smirking?
Listen up, fuckwit. You don't scare me. You cubs don't run Rivachel West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run shit.
Yeah, and who does? You?
I ain't saying nothing.
Oh, yes, you are. Or you're coming back to the station.
No, I'm not. I'm not coming anywhere. And you're not taking me there. Nah, fuck off.
He said coming. Sorry. He worded it in a way that caught me off guard. It should not have done. I can get deeper with this, not the coming thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just tell me which one is Halori.
Listen up, fuckwit. You don't scare me. You cubs don't run Rivachel West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run shit.
That's twice now you've called me a fuckwit. I have my fucking half-light gloves on. You watch yourself. So who does then? The lady driver?
I ain't saying nothing.
Oh, this shit again. You want me to get violent with you?
What? Here on the street? You won't? Now fuck off.
I absolutely would. It just won't give me the option to. If there was punch this guy in the face like there was for the child, you know I'd click it, because I clicked it for the fucking child. I'd take this guy down in a second, fuck's sake. Maybe Kuno knows something about it. Doesn't seem likely, but... I mean, I'll be swinging back in that direction at some point.
The woman looks at nothing, her eyes closed and her lips moving. Girl child, you hear her say. Girl child, girl child.
Huh? What is it? What do you want?
Alright. Are you the lady driver?
Did you just call me a lady, Herife?
I was told of a woman driver. You're the only woman here.
I'm not that either, Herife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul.
Awesome. So, you're not the driver everyone's terrified of?
I'm only terrifying to small children, and to those who used to know me.
Wait, why are you scary to people who used to know you?
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was.
I get that. I could see that. You said long haul, that's...
The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there, it's all just...
She hums along, as if to a track on repeat.
In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to stay.
Yo, motorway south? I'm thinking about that right now.
You feel very cold suddenly, as if standing face to face with a terrifying adversary. Then the feeling dissipates, and all you see is an aging woman.
Huh. Then, who is the female driver I was told of?
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around, when I have my movies to go to?
Fair enough. That's all I needed to ask you.
Oh, Sim.
Mm-hmm. I'll be off now. Thank you for your time.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
Mm-hmm. Well, enjoy your mental journey. Because I don't think the lorry's going anywhere anytime soon. But I know how you like to think about being from other people's brains, seemingly. Well, there's only one lorry driver left to speak to again, and that's this guy, but especially considering how bad my rapping was, I'm not expecting great things to come of the conversation.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
I heard that one of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
He shifts around, suddenly uncomfortable, then looks away. Why, do you know something? What is it?
Man, I was hoping it isn't gonna be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
I mean, I asked you who's conducting the drug trade, and you told me you didn't know. Now you're saying that you do?
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
Mixed up in it, okay. Who is she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
Can I at least get a... Don't view it as ratting her out, because I am not sold on her guilt. I am in the process of investigating this, and I appreciate that all of the powerful parties who are kind of pulling me around in different directions have their own motives and aren't necessarily being straight up with me. So I would love it if you could tell me her name.
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
What does she look like, at least?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
Hair color?
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Okay, so we're chasing Ramona Flowers. She was a delivery driver and all. What an unexpected crossover moment. Here I was thinking we were in Dishonored 3. When did she leave?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
It's not about her being a bad person. I can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
Troubled how?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
I was told everyone's afraid of her. Are you not?
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
The pain it was causing her.
When she left, did she leave her lorry behind?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
I'm more concerned for her right now than about her involvement in this situation.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one.
We already dealt with the raceman.
Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son. It's right here. The answer is right here. You just need to ask him. Come on, do it.
Put yourself in my shoes. Look, I need this for another investigation too. Like, it's important. I can't blow it.
You're not gonna put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
I'm not convinced that I wouldn't if I still had my gun, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't be so sure, Tommy.
There you go. There you go. I don't want to force him, but I don't know where else I'd get this information from. I'm sure I can loop back around to it. I'm going to try and find another way. But unless one presents itself with some level of rapidity, I think we might be looping back around pretty soon. But I'm going to drop it for now.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too.
Well, it definitely didn't seem to help with mine, so maybe reconsider that decision, but you liked it. And, you know, I think you liking that poem is a huge part of the reason why I felt so uncomfortable forcing you to give me that information now and why I decided not to. I think you're alright. However, that almost feels like a dead end now. And this working class husband, okay. Phil, Tuesday at 1 PM. The working class woman you met in front of the bookstore admitted that her husband is missing. Chances are the guy's drinking somewhere with his buddies. Find him and bring him home, if possible. Fair enough. So, he didn't want to tell me any information about this woman, or at least any more than he already did. Frankly, he didn't want to tell me what he did divulge, because he deems her to be suicidal and thinks that my involvement, from, you know, my position as a police officer, would tip her over the edge. So I'm very much in two minds about pursuing this, but I'm concerned about her, and I also kind of do need to know what's going on, whether or not I end up using that information with Joyce. It's a tricky one. And I don't know who else I could ask now. Would Everard know anything about this? Because it seems like he might do, but also might not. But I did get some information out of Tommy. Maybe I can take that to the other drivers and they can use it. That woman who's off down a hole in her own mind, I don't think any of this is going to be useful. She's just going to be annoyed by me bothering her again. I have no qualms with re-bothering the racist man, even if there's nothing new. Cause him all the bother in the world. Plus he's right here, so...
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
As a matter of fact, I have. Fuck off. Okay. Maybe Kuno knows. Kuno knows everything. The problem is you can't ask him about it without him being like, "What, are you trying to fuck on me?" I don't even know what that means, dude. But I can tell you it's not happening. Alright, come on, come on.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Let's talk about your shack.
The fuck do you want with it?
Yeah, nothing.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
I don't fucking care.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same wavelength then. Sadly, no information. Huh. Let's think for a second. Outside of Claire, who could we speak to about this? I doubt we're going to get any information out of Measurehead if he even knows the person that they're talking about. You know, he's been very consistently stationed up there rather than down here. But I wouldn't presume to know what people talk to him about, other than the general lines that pop out around him about, "Oh, Measurehead, you're so bad," even after I handed his own ass to him.
Your race descent has temporarily halted, but you will fall again.
Yeah, we'll see. Why are you not with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
But you're all part of the Union.
The Hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the Union alone. And I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the Similes. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman.
Far enough. I mean, not far enough, but I am leaving. More than enough to please a woman. Okay. They just stand there in the rain all day, saying weird shit about being attracted to Measurehead. It's gotta get tiring after a certain amount of time, you know? Especially having seen me destroy him in physical combat. A giant ass print on the pillow and a pattern of coffee rings on the armrest. Didn't I loot this already?
The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides out to greet you.
Force yourself to go through the folders, put skill points into volition. What the?
The drawer slides shut.
I have no recollection of the cause of my apprehension when it came to perusing those files, but clearly I failed to check back when. Let me... It's not worth putting 1 point into volition. Maybe it is. That stopped me dying of, like, complete lack of morale all the time, right? That's probably not the worst use of a point. That's maybe one of the most practical and actually situationally applicable uses of a point I could do on this file. However, I choose to die. Also, I have 3 morale now. I already took care of that. It was only really a problem when I only had 2. As long as I got some magnesium, I'll be good. Did I miss something on the wall there? Did I misconstrue part of the green outline as being to do with the door? I don't want to redo the loading screen, but I'm going to redo the loading screen. Even though I'm pretty sure it was all just the transition zone. Oh no, it's this thing.
The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset.
Hold on, I need my phone gloves. Kind of a phone call without my phone gloves. Anything else interfacey about this? I have so few clothes. I mean, in terms of just like carrying a bunch of clothing around, it's a way above average amount of clothes to have like on your person without wearing them. But in the grand scheme of things, I think you got a very sparse wardrobe.
The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset.
Let your muscle memory dial a random number.
It's unclear whether you actually have muscle memory. Right now, your finger is just drawing vaguely occult patterns in the air. Sure, why not? Muscle memory is a tricky thing.
Evidently.
Nothing tricky about that. You just do, fail, repeat, until it works. All it takes is motivation and practice.
If I was attempting to dial a phone number completely from muscle memory, putting on giant rubber yellow gloves would surely damage my ability to do so with any accuracy or level of success, right? Even if I was getting it right, I'd be mashing the keys. Hitting multiples, like... I'm not blaming the gloves. But I don't feel comfortable ruling out that part in my failure there. They played a role. I saw them. Imprecise and rubbery. Interfacing +1 my ass. It's not how I trust. What's this stuff down here? Have I not been down there? Shit. Well, anyway, I came up here to see Everard, so... At least I think I did. Well, I know I did, but I'm trying to remember if there's anything else kind of on the way. And this is just sealed, right? Mysteriously.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Hey there, sugar.
The container door appears unmoved by your attempt at flattery.
You're a fine piece of engineering. Do you know that?
The door does not respond to your advances. Is it possible that it seems somehow more closed than before?
Rhetoric, 0. Very low. 3% +1. Been in the wild for 2 days. I guess we just have to hope that that continues to appreciate, because I don't think I'm going to be sinking any points into rhetoric at any point in this file, so I really don't want to invalidate this check, because I don't know how to reopen it, and I just don't trust double sixes right now. I mean, I would never trust double sixes. While they seem to happen with an alarmingly high frequency in games of Monopoly, they don't seem to happen in Disco Elysium. So I'm just gonna leave. I wonder if they ever made any consideration for party members having no stats of their own and being able to use them. Because, you know, I reckon Kim could persuade that door to open with his rhetorical skills. I mean, they've got to be better than mine, right? But he's not gonna know about the lorry driver, is he?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
Hey, Leo. I had some questions for you, if that's not too much trouble.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing.
That's very generous of you. Unfortunately, I don't seem to be able to ask you to share what I want you to share, which I have to presume to be indicative of you not knowing about it to begin with, which wouldn't necessarily be surprising when, you know, accounting for the combination of your demeanor and your location. So I'm just going to leave you to it. What a nice fella. At least in my experience. If it gets to like day 4 and he like starts running around slashing throats or something, then I will take it back. I don't know. That doesn't sound like very good behavior. Alright. Wait, so he's separate to his desk in terms of interactable things? Wait, no he's not? I'm not sure. Anyway, we need better clothes for this, I think. We don't need to be cool, but we do need to be composed. Authority, actually, would probably help more. I don't love taking damage to composure, though. Again, it's awkward, because ideally, in situations where you're trying to exert authority, you would also be exercising a decent amount of composure so as not to be toppled from that attempt at, you know, exerting that authority, but it's like, I can only do so much. I gotta walk with what I'm given. And I think this is probably the best way to do that. It might be worth smoking. I shouldn't have wasted a cigarette when I don't even know if there's any new dialogue with him. Oh well.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
Good. Okay, well, let's start at the beginning, I guess. Let's talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you, like I'm helping you with the body. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, let's blow it open.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're a police officer, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
I may have opened a few doors in my life.
And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colours, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top.
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
So why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
He wants to send a message. Even the police are working for me.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly.
How do you know? What's this guy the weasel expert all of a sudden? Let him live, damn. Like if a weasel goofs off and no one's around to see it doing it. Is it even goofing off? How would you know?
Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
I bet you don't even know anything about the hanging.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
Oh, fine. Fine, I'll look into it, because we need to talk about this.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Absolutely no promises. Like, none. Aren't you going to ask me how I got in? Wait, no. You know how I got in. I just walked in. I'm told the Union's involved in the local drug trade.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
Nah.
You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what?
And gets over it in 2 seconds. Seems like it didn't really hurt him.
I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject.
Well, it didn't help with that part of the investigation. Let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Like, he can do that?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Wait, the gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in?
Yes. Thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important, building our relationship for the good of Martinez.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
Does this mean if I do things for you, I'll get my gun back?
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means.
Alright. I met Joyce.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals.
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I helped you get the body down.
Oh.
And I'm helping you find your gun. I'm not a jealous guy.
Huh. What happened to the previous negotiator?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
You weren't very nice about this, man.
Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this?
She seemed pretty sure that that's the wording that you used.
Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
It's hard to say if he really lost his temper, or if this is another one of his tricks. This man almost never angers visibly.
Joyce said that he disappeared under suspicious Sorry, she even, was it? Oh, am I lost? How far back have I gone? Joyce said he disappeared under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting.
Did she?
Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
I feel like I'm her way.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization.
Mm-hmm.
I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock.
Yeah, you got the Billy
Tell her
Bass?
how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
Oh, that third person shit creepy.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Why is conceptualization such a gossip?
This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay.
I wanted to go over a couple of things about me.
Let's hear it, Harry.
What's my full name?
It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
I can work with that.
And I can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you?
Do I have like a wife or kids or anything?
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry?
You're right, I don't.
That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend. You are one of the all-time greats.
Do you know where I live?
But of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay.
And what kind of cop does it say I am?
Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar.
See, that's what I like about you, Everett. You get me.
Of course I do, Harry. And I'm gonna help you shine. I'm gonna put you on all the big stages, your name in giant neon letters. Harry Dubois.
He's probably just making a guess based on your recent activity in Martinaise.
Did he get it right? He did. Okay.
Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. You wanted something from me.
I'm gonna leave now, but we might talk again later.
See you soon, Debardeur. Just kidding, but not too much.
Huh. Well, okay. Still don't know who or where this quote-unquote lady driver is. Still concerned about her mental well-being. Still concerned about the oh my god, she didn't buy my gun, did she? I forget what I was told about my... Hang on. Hang on. Hold up. Where is it? Where's it gone? Armor, pants, karaoke. Just looking for gun. Track down your badge, trash, rent, booze, gloves, speed, murder weapon. Damn. My life's messed up. Well, we got this at least. Everett asked you to open the basement door behind the greenhouse in the backyard to intimidate the occupant. Do what you have to do. Everett has promised to give you info on the case in return. Get the key to the weasel's door from Mañana. Okay. Where can I access information about my gun? Do I just have to go back to the pawn shop and re-ask? I can't remember any specific details that he may or may not have given. Like, I can't even remember if he gave details. Don't know about the badge. No leads. So I'm finding out about the lady driver specifically in my head, the order of events, like the way this has shaken out today. I'm trying to find out who that woman is so I can tell Joyce, so she can tell me something important, supposedly, about the lynching case and the union's involvement. I think. Because there you go, there's something she wants to tell me. Considering there's potentially even like a life in the balance here, if we are looking at driving someone to suicide, that's not something I'm even slightly comfortable doing. If we were to do that, take that risk, even if everything worked out fine, and then she didn't actually have something useful, I would be very upset with her. So, not quite sure how to approach that. But I am now concerned that the allegedly suicidal person might have been the person who bought my gun. Which, by the sounds of it, I sold off the back of my own suicidality. So, people aren't having a very happy time in Revachol right now. But they'll be okay. We're gonna help. We're going to help. Or at least we're going to cling to the ambition of helping as best we can, along the protracted descent into complete misery. But I'd like to view this as an inverse trajectory to that. I think we're climbing, I think we're improving, I think we're fixing things. Internally and externally. But it remains to be seen how any of it shakes out. The responsibilities are kind of mounting. Shall endeavour to remain on top of them, but not right now, because I think that's enough of this today. We've crossed the 6 PM threshold, so I'm going to disappear into the evening and live my silly little life. I love this game very deeply. It's phenomenal. I cannot recommend it highly enough, but I know if anyone's actually seeing any of this, they've almost certainly played it themselves, so they already know that, or they wouldn't be like looking up people playing it. I'm gonna head off, though. Wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever's going on, I hope you're doing okay. I'll be back, hopefully tomorrow, shooting for at least every day this week, and so far, you know, that's 3 for 3. That's more consistent than I usually manage to, more consistency than I usually manage to inject into any element of my life, so that's nice. A slight stab, an affected stab at regularity or routine, just as like a little joke, I guess, on myself. But like I said, hope you're doing okay. Look after yourself.